nearly 12 months ago. It was the Star Maker, and we'll be talking about that later on too.
We will.
Star Maker finals after party. We're having the official one, having a bit of a drink around, and I looked around the room and I see this stunning red-headed fellow over there, and I thought, it's Prince Harry. And I thought, no, it's not. It's Iain Archibald. So I went over and we introduced her. We'd spoken plenty of times on the radio, but never met face to face. So it was a great thrill. So we ended up sitting down, having a bit of a beer and talking music. And Iain Archibald joins us right now. The song is Rearview Mirror, and it's probably a great time to reflect on things right now.
It is, but from your description of what you saw in Tamworth, you must be talking about my brother, because I'm definitely not good looking. So. I appreciate the kind words, though, mate. Thank you very
It was
much.
an after party, so, he may have been,
Had the beer goggles on.
He could have.
Cam does get mistaken for Ed Sheeran from time to time, doesn't he?
He does. As you said, I cop Prince Harry and Cam cops Ed Sheeran. So there's definitely worse people to be, lookalikes too, that's for sure.
Indeed. How's the music situation in Victoria going?
Yeah, same. There's not a lot on the country front, unfortunately. The Americana sort of thing's starting to really thrive, which is great to see, with Swifty and Greta and Weeping Willow. So those guys obviously doing a lot in the Americana scene. Look, country rock in Melbourne has never really sort of been a big hit, but, we've played many a gig around Melbourne as just a quote-unquote rock band, because the C word scared a lot of promoters and bookers and stuff. So we were pushing our way, out of gigs. So we sort of had, we're talking about Rearview Mirror tonight, but we've just released our new single as well, which is called Living in a Small Town, and that song reflects a lot on our past 6 years of how we actually started gigging properly. It was that we sort of went out and saw these little small towns. We were the only band that had been through in probably 4 or 5 years or something like that, or on a very rare basis. So we had a whole town rock up to see it. To go from having one random guy sitting at a bar who wasn't even there to listen to you in Melbourne, to having a full town sort of come out and support you it's just a booster for us. It really meant a lot to us to have their support, and we really appreciate it. And so we hardly ever play Melbourne these days because we're so busy playing the rural towns. We just love it. But that's just kind of part of it as well. So playing country rock, the people who like that style of music are generally in rural sort of areas. So we're happy to travel out there to hang out with these people and put on a show.
And what's the fan base like after they've heard your music?
Mostly sort of social media following and, Spotify and Apple Music these days, now that people sort of don't have to, spend the money on the gamble that they hope that you're good. They can sort of just have a bit of a listen and see what they think. We definitely notice that. The other thing, we really try to make a personal connection with a lot of these people that we meet out there. And, so it's not just we play the show and we go sort of sit in the dressing room, like we play the show, we have a beer with a lot of the guys and girls afterwards or before or whatever, and just try and really get to know a lot of these people. And some of their stories are making their ways into some of our songs. So it's a beautiful thing. It's really very enjoyable for us. And it's something that we all, Luke, Cam, John and myself, we really, and it's not sort of something that we do deliberately as a marketing ploy or anything, like that. We just legitimately like hanging out with a lot of these people. They're just really good, honest, hard-working people. And, it's some of the stories they have to tell they just blow my mind. And, some of the funniest things that I've ever heard was at 1 a.m. just as we finished packing up for the gig and we're having a beer with some guy, who nearly... No, I'm not going to tell that story.
Oh, come on. We were so ready then.
Yeah, he had an angle grinder and he was working on something and it slipped and hit his... so he was telling us about the story of how he, had to run into the emergency room and all this sort of thing, and with a big bag of ice and et cetera, and certain appendages need to be reattached. It's not the sort of story you can tell on air, but it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And the way this guy told it, how there's just some people who are just great storytellers?
Yep.
This guy we had everyone, who was there in stitches. It was a great story.
And you know what? That makes for a great song,
It does, yeah. Well, I've tried to work out how to make it sort of, metaphorical,
Yes.
I'm not exactly saying what happened, but I'm alluding to it.
Well, if the bushwhackers can take another trip to Bunnings, you can take another trip to the ED.
Yeah, exactly right.
See, there's some,
I like what you
as long
did
as we
there.
don't have to see the scars, we're fine.
Exactly.
It'd be a very interesting film clip.
Well,
Yeah, I want to
yeah.
see that film clip, and I want to see that song now. The next
Yeah,
trip to the ED.
That's it.
Ian, are we
man.
going to see you in Tamworth?
Oh, we most certainly are going to be there. We're hoping to announce our shows probably next week. We've got them all locked in. We've got some, really great dates, but we've just had so many other things sort of to announce and spread the love around that we've just haven't had the time to announce it. But looking forward to being back. Can't wait to catch up with you guys as well.
Well, there you have it, guys. Hop on to the Iain Archibald, Iain Archibald Facebook page. You'll find all the stuff out there. Thank you very much for joining us today, Ian. And what we're going to do is we're going to play your song right now, Rearview Mirror.
The dust has settled. I'm seeing things much clearer.